Something hunts these mountains, shaped from myth. Formed by the spirit of the mountain man, he lives by the way he hunts. Born of the mountains, blood of the Indian, he survives by hawking and longbow. He's alone, he's free, he's forged by the elements. Journey with the last of a breed, Sasquatch, Mountain Man. For Laramie Sasquatch Miller, it's about the way he journeys, the way he hunts, the way he lives. And the way has its rules, unwritten but ironclad, like when the game is too easy. That's when you don't shoot, but just enjoy watching it run. From the Whitetail Woods, Sasquatch now ventures onto the prairie in search of the grandest prize of the mountain man. It's hard to overstate the significance of the horse in the history of the American frontier. Among Native Americans, it turned nomads into emperors. For the mountain man, it opened new vistas and carried him to unseen horizons. Most important, the horse made it possible to hunt buffalo. Gentling a horse to the notion of riding up on a 1-ton wild buffalo is no easy chore.
This buffalo hide, I'm going to use it in case it gets cold, but also just in case I can't get close enough to them buffalo or the weather turns bad and I can't ride my horse up next to them, I'm going to use it to try to stalk in close on them. You know, this horse, he's never had any kind of wild animal draped over his back. It's going to take some doing, but I'll get him used to it.
When it comes to horses, you can't help but think of your betters, especially by firelight.
You know, back in the day when the Indians were chasing the buffalo off the horses, they'd make themselves custom bows. They'd shorten them up to about 3 foot long so that they could shoot off the back of a horse. I don't know if anybody's ever tried to shoot off the back of a horse with a bow, but I have. And it's very interesting, especially if you've got a normal-sized, traditional longbow. You know, the Indians were amazing athletes. To be able to sit on the back of a horse with no saddle, you're sitting there bareback, leaning side to side the way they did, shooting off them. That's some horsemanship.
For the U.S. troops who fought the Plains Indians in the 1800s, there was never any question of their foes' prowess. The finest light cavalry ever to ride horses, it was said, by those who engaged them in battle. None finer since the days of the Mongol hordes. The one thing that made the Plains Indians excel as horsemen was the American buffalo. Bison.
Here's what we got. We got 2 big bulls coming down this draw. I tied up the horse. I'm gonna sneak up, put my old buffalo robe on, and see if I can't get within about 25 yards of him to stick him with the old longbow.
In the tradition of Indian hunters, Sasquatch dons the disguise of the buffalo itself. There's nothing meek or mild or dull-witted about the buffalo, as Laramie learns when he finds himself being stalked from behind by a cow with bad intent.
They're at about 50 yards right now. I need about 20 more yards to be effective with this longbow.
To cover his stalk and for protection against a possible charge, Laramie moves into the trees. From the back of a horse, Laramie surveys the prairie realm of the buffalo. And with his longbow, he stalks beneath a natural disguise.
It was worth a try. Got about 45 yards from him, but and they knew something was up. I said, no, thank you. Gotta adapt to all situations.
That's some 60 square feet of robe Laramie has slung over his shoulder.
Any of you have ever tried to carry a buffalo hide around? But that's a workout in itself, even for Sasquatch. Oh. Well, I'm gonna go pick up the horse. This looks like a good place as any to camp. We'll try again in the morning. You know, there's a lot of people that always talk to me about staying out in the woods, whether it be they're lost or, you know, they're going out camping, they're going out hunting, and they get stuck and they gotta spend the night out in the woods with essentially nothing. You wanna make sure that before dark, you get some firewood rounded up, you find a warm, dry place to stay. But you get wet and all heck's gonna break loose. Hypothermia is gonna set in, and you'll start losing your mind, and who knows, you might be running around naked and the bear might think you're cute, or who knows what's gonna happen. So you wanna make sure you stay dry. If you ever get lost in the mountains, the one thing you gotta remember is don't ever try to find your way out at night, because when it gets dark, you can get disoriented really easy, especially when you got big mountains on the side of you and it covers everything up, you can't see any stars, you can get lost very easy.
It's the mind that saves. The mountain is merciless to the foolish. Knowing you can make a meal from toasted earthworms can keep you alive.
Juicy. I can't tell you how many times my horse has alerted me to elk or deer or bears, or pay attention to your horse, because believe it or not, you can teach him some things, but he can teach you a lot of things too about woodsmanship. When you look at that, you can tell there's been a lot of animals coming down this little rock face right here. Looks like buffalo tracks. You can see the big deep gouges. I mean, it would take hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of animals coming down this for a period of time to make impressions, even though this is sandstone, to make impressions like this. It's a big plateau up here, so they probably fed up here on top, and it's just a big cliff face. So there's only a couple places to get down. And the Cheyenne River runs down through this canyon, so I'm betting that they came up and they could see the water, and they turned, and one got brave and decided he was just gonna bail off this, and they all followed. And it turned into kind of a travel corridor.
Buffalo trails, or traces, were the Old West's first highways. Most ran north and south along ancient migration routes, but some went east and west, laying down the immigrant trails and even the routes of the railroads, earning the buffalo the title sagacious pathmaker. And the buffalo weren't just valuable surveyors. Like Laramie, illustrious frontier hunter Paul Richardson knows that the bison is a walking commissary supplying every need. Richardson's party has made a good stand, bringing down several mighty bulls. But now, in scorched country, water is a more desperate need than meat. Greenhorns would panic and gallop off after mirages. But for Richardson, water's right here. He slashes open the swollen paunch of a fresh-killed buffalo, the warm gut still twisting and crawling. Filling a tin cup with liquid stomach contents, he drains it, showing the satisfaction of a man quaffing vintage wine. The buffalo has much more to keep a man alive, though. Richardson cuts out the heart. He tears into its ventricles with his teeth. The melon-sized organ holds 2 quarts of blood, and Richardson drinks until he must take a breath, his face crimson. Sasquatch may find himself doing the same by the time this hunt is done. No matter where Laramie looks, he finds buffalo sign, even in seemingly impossible places.
If you look up there, you can see there's a buffalo print in the side of this rock face. Probably made by somebody, no telling how many years ago. 300, 400, 500 probably, if not longer than that. And you can look, this is a big floodplain. That right there used to be ground level, but now all the water running down this canyon has washed all the dirt out and lowered everything. And so now that hoof is about 20 foot off the ground. There's no telling, it could have been one of them rock crawling buffalo, we don't know.
Or maybe the notorious spider bison. Once the most numerous large mammal on Earth, by the end of the 1800s, less than 900 bison still ran on the prairies. Today, bison number some 500,000.
We got these buffalo, they're about 50 yards right over this little knob. I'm gonna come walking up and just kind of sway back and forth like a buffalo. See if it works, see if I can get to 20, 30 yards from them. Ought to be fun.
The bison, one of the most dangerous animals in North America, and the one that Laramie has challenged himself to hunt with longbow and arrow.
Looking right at us. We'll just walk straight up that way. Just can't quite get close enough. They're not sure what I am.
Many more people are injured by buffalo than bears. The only real hope of escaping an angry 2,000-pound buffalo charging at 30 miles an hour is to outrun it on a horse.
You know, back in the day, mountain men, their life relied on a horse. And the one thing when they're looking for a horse, you know, they're wanting to find a horse that has the right attitude, because when you get in tough situations, you might be, you know, in the snow or having to go through a bog. If you don't have a horse that's got that get up and go and will to live, you're in trouble. Because a horse, just like people, they all got different attitudes, and if you got a horse that doesn't want to work and doesn't want to, you know, go after things in the mountains, you're up, you know what's creek. A horse is like a vehicle. You got to make sure that you maintain it. You know, you got to change the oil on a car. If you run out of oil or run out of fuel, that car ain't gonna run. Well, it's the same way with the horse. If you're gonna be spending a lot of time in the mountains, make sure one of the most important things is you look at a horse, you look at his hooves. If he's got white hooves, you're gonna have a nightmare, because you're constantly gonna be having to reshoe him and stuff like that. But if you get a horse that's got dark hooves, his hooves will last 3 times as long in the mountains, because the white hoof is a lot softer. And you know, the most tender part of a horse's foot is his frogs. I check my horse every day and make sure there's no rocks stuck in the mud right next to his frog, because that'll lame a horse up quicker than anything.
For Laramie, as for his mountain men forebears and Indian hunters, it's knowing that a horse and rider are one, a perfectly matched team, venturing where they could not or would not alone. From horseback, across the haunts of the mountain men, Laramie has hunted the iconic game of the West, from silver-tipped grizzly to giant moose. But on the open prairies, the bison may prove the greatest challenge and deadliest threat.
You know, it's amazing to think what our ancestors, the Indians, the mountain men, what they did to survive. The thought of taking 2 pieces of rock, chipping an arrowhead, using antlers as needles, very interesting to me because I pride myself in being a modern day mountain man and knowing how to survive in any element, whether it be the desert, the mountains, the jungle, just because of what I've learned by being a mountain man, surviving in the mountains.
Over the plains, wrote one observer, the Indian hunter dashed amongst the buffalo on his wild horse, loosing his deadly shafts. And this is the shadow Laramie Miller follows.
I've got as you can see, there's 4 bulls and some cows right here. You know, these buffalo, they've got thick, thick skulls. Back in the day, whenever a buffalo would charge, the old people would try to shoot him in the head, and it doesn't do nothing to him. The skull is so thick you can't penetrate it. And if you don't hit them good, they're tough critters. It'll take them a long time to die, so you want to try to hit them right above the heart, right in the lungs. Usually that does the trick, but you still got to respect that animal. It's a 2,000-pound beast.
And respect the buffalo the true hunters did, knowing it would give them everything from meat and leather to sinew for bows, grease for a myriad of uses, dried dung for fires, and even dark hooves for glue.
Couldn't quite get close enough to them with the rope. They got real itchy, so I'm gonna try a different scenario. Hopefully they don't charge, because there's quite a few buffalo to try to evade. I mean, I'm a mountain man ninja, but I don't think I can do it.
In his buckskin shirt, Laramie is coyote-colored and able to approach the herd on all 4s. Indian hunters would drape the hide of a white wolf over themselves, calling it a wolf mask, and crawl into bow range. But now, even a possible coyote draws the attention of a nervous cow with a young calf, increasing the risk for Laramie. Each yard that takes him closer also narrows any chance for escape.
That cow really doesn't like me being here. She thinks I'm a threat to her calves. Cows are probably twice as dangerous as the bull because there's a couple calves in there. So, kind of a tricky situation.
With his chosen longbow, though, there's no choice for Laramie but to get close.
Smokes. That was a little hairy. He turned and looked at me. I saw the whites of his eyes. You stand up on 2 feet and boy, they're out of there. But I crawled and I just kind of acted like a coyote, just kind of messing around, crawling around. Man, I crawled 25 yards. It was a good shot. I hit him in the lungs, but these suckers have some big lungs, boy. He'll lay down here in a minute. You can tell he's kind of getting woozy a little bit.
That hoisted tail on that one buffalo is a sure sign of agitation from the smell of blood on the buffalo Laramie hits.
Holy cow. I tell you what, them are some tough critters right there. You look at that thing. You imagine back in the day, them Indians, and they'd probably kill a dozen or more buffalo in one hunt. I feel sorry for them. That's a lot of work. You got 1,800 pounds right here, and they used every single piece.
Laramie Miller knows that the buffalo is just a shadow of what it once was, when 60 million thundered across the prairies. But it is a shadow worth following, A dream worth repeating. A tradition worth keeping. As Laramie continues his quest of the mountain men.